Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to Biosciences with Shatrin Sawati. And today I'm here to discuss in detail about the progesterone. Are you familiar with the progesterone? Progesterone is an hormone which is produced in the male and female both. And I will discuss in detail about each and everything related to the progesterone. And I will share something new about the progesterone, which I think so most of the people don't know about that. So must watch my lecture till the end. If you like my lecture, share my videos, like my videos, and do subscribe my channel. So I'm going to start my lecture about the progesterone. I will discuss about the biochemistry, about the progesterone regulation, and its production sites in both male and female, and their function and effect of the low progesterone in the women, signs and symptoms, role of the progesterone in pregnancy, and many other body functions in detail. So first of all, what is progesterone? That is the P4. It is also represented as P4 is an endogenous steroid. If you're not familiar with the steroid, must watch my lecture from my biochemistry series related to the steroid. So what is that? This is an endogenous steroid and progestogen sex hormone involved in the menstrual cycle, pregnancy, and embryogenesis of the human and other species. It belongs to a group of the steroid hormone called the progestogen and is the major progestogen in the body. Now the word progesterone is sometimes referred as prog or P4, and this is used for the pregnancy hormone. This is also known as the pregnancy hormone, and that word is derived from the prog, pregnancy, and that's why it is indicated as P4. This is created only early in the pregnancy by a cyst on the ovary called the corpus luteum. Now, what is corpus luteum? Corpus luteum is the structure which is the which become the most important gland for the production of the progesterone during the pregnancy. This corpus luteum is produced when the follicle rupture and the egg or ovum is released from that ruptured follicle. That ruptured follicle then converted into corpus luteum, that later on become the most important gland for the production of the progesterone for 10 weeks during the pregnancy. After those initial weeks, then the placenta, after the development of the placenta, when the embryo implanted into the uterus and the placenta produced or formed around that embryo, then after that placenta takes over producing the progesterone. In the initial stages, corpus luteum, which is produced in the ovary from the ruptured follicles. And what is follicle? Follicle is the layer of the cell around the ovum or egg for the production of for the protection of the egg. So that follicle, after rupturing and after the ovulation process, converted into corpus luteum. And early pregnancy period, this corpus luteum is responsible for the production of the progesterone. And after the formation of the placenta, then that placenta will be able to produce the progesterone and maintain the pregnancy. That I will discuss in detail later on. Okay. Now biochemistry. Mammal progesterone, like all other steroid hormone, is synthesized from the pregnenolone. Pregnenolone. This is synthesized from what? Pregnenolone, which itself is derived from the cholesterol. Must keep it in your. Pregnenolone is derived from what? From cholesterol. And this is what? This is a steroid hormone. Okay. Progesterone is naturally occurring pregnant steroid and is also known as the pregnant 4-ene-320 dione. As you can see here, the molecule formula C21H30 and O2, and you can see here the chemical structure of the progesterone on the screen. It has a double bond 4-ene. You can count between the C4 and C5 position. And two ketone groups, you can see here two ketone groups. Number one is that, and number two is that. This one and this one. These are the two ketones, and one at the C3 position and the other at the C20 position. So this is about the chemical formula and the structure of the progesterone. Okay. Now that is very important. Do you know the progesterone is also produced in the plants? And what is that plant which is responsible for the production of the progesterone? That is the Juglane regia. Juglane regia in Pakistan known as the akhrot, and in English its English name is walnut, and this is the important source. Scientists has detected progesterone in the Juglane regia, and progesterone like steroid has also been detected in the this is what Dioscorea mexicana. Dioscorea mexicana, this is another plant from which progesterone like steroid has been detected, but this progesterone has been detected in the Juglane regia. If you don't know, must note down this point and share with other. Okay. Now the progesterone regulation. How the progesterone is regulated in our body. Most of the people don't know which hormone, endocrine hormone, is responsible for the regulation of the progesterone in our body. That is the TSH. You are familiar with the TSH? Thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone stimulate the ovary to produce the estrogen and progesterone. In the ovaries, which structure produce the progesterone? That is the corpus luteum, which is produced by the rupture follicles around after ovulation. Is it clear? So TSH stimulate the ovaries to produce the estrogen as well as the progesterone. Progesterone and thyroid hormones have a reciprocal relationship. You need an adequate amount of the thyroid hormone for your ovaries to make progesterone. But progesterone also helps the thyroid. Research shows that progesterone can increase thyroid hormone level in the blood. Is it clear? So, which endocrine hormone is responsible for the regulation of the progesterone? That is TSH, mean the that TSH abbreviated for thyroid stimulating hormone. Is it clear now? Okay. Now the production sites in male and female. First of all, I will share the knowledge about the production sites in the female. Progesterone, as I have discussed, that is produced in the ovaries by the corpus luteum. From the onset of the puberty to the menopause. Is also produced in smaller amount by the adrenal. Must keep it in your mind. This is not just produced in the ovaries from the corpus luteum. It is also produced by the adrenal gland after the onset of the adrenal in both male and female. To a lesser extent, progesterone is produced in the nervous tissue. Must keep it in your mind. Especially in the brain and in the adipose tissues. You are familiar with the adipose tissues? Fat tissues as well. During human pregnancy, progesterone is produced, as I have discussed, from the ovaries in the early stages and later on from the placenta. If the woman does not get pregnant during this time, the gland breaks down. The gland is known as the corpus luteum. That breakdown, which is responsible for the production of the for the production of the progesterone, then that gland, which is corpus luteum, break down and progesterone decreases and the menstruation begins. Is it clear? Okay. Now the progesterone level in the female. In women, progesterone levels are relatively low during the pre-evolutionary phase of the menstrual cycle, rise after ovulation, and are elevated during the luteal phase. What is luteal phase? Ovulation, You are familiar that the release of the egg from the follicles in the ovary. And what is the luteal phase? Little bit I'm sharing with you. The luteal phase start after the ovulation, and during this phase what will happen? The endometrium, you can say the inner wall of the uterus, become thick and prepare for the implantation of the embryo to maintain the pregnancy. Is it clear? Okay. Now in the male, because most of the students ask me that progesterone produced in the male or not, and if it produced in the male, what is the function of that progesterone in the male? So I'm sharing with you the adrenal gland and the testes produce progesterone. Must keep it in your mind. Men need progesterone to produce testosterone, and testosterone, that is very important male hormone. Is it clear? So that testosterone is also produced with the help of the progesterone and other endocrine luteinizing hormone from the Leydig cells in the testes. Is it clear? It also helps sperm mature. Researchers have experienced and experimented with the man-made progesterone or the progestin as a form of the male birth control. Is it clear? Now, what is the function of the progesterone in male? This is responsible for the production of the testosterone and sperm maturation and many more. Okay. Now, the low progesterone in the women. What will happen? In women, low progesterone can cause irregular periods. It can also make it difficult to get pregnant. Women with low level may indicate ectopic pregnancy. To get pregnant, have a higher risk of miscarriages. That's become progesterone help the uterus maintain the pregnancy. As I have discussed that progesterone especially responsible for the luteal phase, means prepare the uterus for the implantation of the embryo. Also, women who have low amount of this hormone may have too much estrogen. That can cause weight gain, loss of the sex-derived and gallbladder problems. Now, signs and symptoms. Number 1, abdominal pain you feel, breasts that are often sore, spotting between the periods, vaginal dryness, depression, anxiety, mood swing, low libido, low blood sugar, headache or migraine. Is it clear? Okay. Now the role of the progesterone I'm going to discuss. It is also a crucial metabolic intermediate in the production of other endogenous steroids, including the sex hormone and the corticosteroid, and play an important role in brain function as a neurosteroid. Must keep it in mind. Second, in addition to its role as a natural hormone, progesterone is also used as a medication, such as in combination with the estrogens for contraceptions to reduce the risk of the uterine or cervical cancers, in hormone replacement therapy, and in feminizing hormone therapy. It was first prescribed in 1934. Is it clear? So the other function of the steroids: stimulate bone growth, helping to protect from osteoporosis, help maintain a healthy weight by burning body fat for energy, decrease craving for sweets and high sugar foods, stabilizing blood sugar level. That is very interesting and very important to know. Is a diuretic, normalizing body fluid and salt level in our body. Is it clear and interesting to know about the progesterone? Okay. And I will discuss in detail about the role of the progesterone in pregnancy in my next lecture. So I will be back. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you.